Back to basics gal here again. Today I'm going to share with you a recipe. It's not even a recipe. I made this up. It's a take on the chicken block, that they sell at Tractor Supply and at different farm supply stores. It's that big square block. Anyway, I've concocted my own recipe for this. I don't do measurements. I use applesauce as the component that glues everything together. I use the omega-3 from the flaxseed, oatmeal, barley seeds, wheat germ, wheat berries. I use dehydrated carrots. Uh, I'm using the eggshells that I dehydrate. I'm using whole egg powder. Even though it's a treat, I do try to make this as healthy as I possibly can. Like I said, there's really no exact amounts. I do it by sight, so I'll do my best to give you an idea of what I put in. This is a quarter of a cup of the whole egg powder. What I like about this is I don't have to worry about, storing it because it's already the pasteurized eggs. But I use the whole egg powder. I'm going to use the entire small jar of the applesauce I get at Walmart. And this when I do it, I dehydrate these in the wintertime and I bake them in the oven in the summertime. And the reason is that I don't like heating up the house. Anyway, here's some flaxseed. This has a lot of omega-3 in it. Really good for your eggs. So I'm going to be generous with this. I'm going to put a quarter of a cup of the flaxseed in there. It's just whole flaxseed. I get it at the health food store. I'm going to add some whole oats. And I put in about a cup of that. You can put in, I was going to do an apple. I'm going to pass on that because I'm going to bake this in the oven. But when I do it in the dehydrator in the wintertime and in the fall, I put fresh fruit in. I'm going to put in, these are eggshells that I dehydrate. I've got a video on that if you need to know how to make those. That puts in calcium for the egg production. So I try to make this as healthy as possible for the girls. And I'm going to add some chicken crack. That's what I call their scratch. They love this stuff. It's got cracked corn in it. It's got wheat berries, I believe, and it's got millet in it. They love that cracked corn, though. They can't have a diet of just cracked corn, so. And I'm going to stir this up a little bit so I can see where the consistency's at right now. And like I said, I do this recipe by sight and how the mixture feels. This is still quite loose. I can add quite a bit more to this. This recipe is another one of those where what do you have on hand to make this? As long as you have the base, which is your applesauce, I'm going to add about a tablespoon, I'd say, of the molasses to this. That helps bind as well. I'm going to put some dehydrated carrots in there. That's probably a little over a quarter of a cup. Of course, I'm going to add some wheat germ. And that's about 2 tablespoons. If you put too many dry ingredients in, just add some, you can add a little bit of water to get it back to the consistency you need. If it's too wet, add more dry. I'm going to add these wheat berries. That was about a half a cup of wheat berries, or wheat seed, more appropriately called. And this is still a lot too loose. I need it to be a little bit thicker than this. I'll add some more barley seed to it. This way they get a lot of variety of what they're eating too. So like I said, it's supposed to be a healthy treat. And then I'm going to add their regular crumbles to thicken this up. And then that way, that's a stable nutrition. Dietitians, chicken dietitians make up their feed. So I'm just using that as to make it a little bit thicker. You want it a little bit crumbly. And I'm just going to mash this into a jelly roll pan that I've lined with parchment paper. I'm going to stick it in the oven for about an hour, hour and a half at 200 degrees because I am doing this in the smaller pan or thinner pan. And I'll be back. Alright, this has been in the oven. Like I said, I made this a lot thinner. I'm actually going to take this over to a friend of mine who has some chickens. So I'm going to trim off the ends, and my girls are going to benefit from that. I tested this and broke one of the edges. It's still a little bit pliable. I did not dry it out to a rock hard consistency because I did want to cut this into little squares. She doesn't use the big squirrel feeders that I use. I guess they call them suet feeders for birds, but I get the big ones and that they feed those nut blocks to the squirrels on. I have one of those that I keep hay in, and then I use a smaller suet feeder for these. But I double, I usually make these double. I'm going to flip this over, and I knew it. I knew that piece would break off. Anyway, but I'm going to trim this up, and I'm going to give this end here to my girls, and I'll show you how easy this cuts. Like I said, I normally make this in an 8x8 pan if I do it in the oven in the summer, or when I dehydrate it in the dehydrator, I make them, about this thickness, but I double them up when I put them in their holder. As you can see, it's very pretty. Anyway, and this is normally the thickness that I would make. Anyway, this is my take on the chicken blocks. This is Back to Basics Gal. Thanks for stopping by.